Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. Donnie B all day, shredder. So I was doing a little spring cleaning, well, kinda. As you can see, there's a big, gigantic pile of knives down there. There's some up there. There's some over there. There's some next to me. And I thought, well, I really want to shoot one that I haven't shot in a while because I freaking love it. The D-Bad War Machine is not the knife I'm talking about today. No, it's a different one. This one I do have plans on doing a video soon with this one, along with the D-Bad OEF freaking Defender. It's amazing. I do have some plans on videos with those coming up, but no, today is going to be a little challenge. It's going to be a little big box store versus custom Heartstopper. That's right, the Rambo Heartstopper. Now, obviously, this is the Hollywood Collectibles Group version. It is really, really tough. I mean, this thing with its counterpart, the Bowie version, gets used. You can see that the blade is not all wall hanger pretty because I like to use them. I got a couple scratches in there and some stuff like that, but there's no flawed areas on the edges. There's no dents or dings or silly little bad things, and this thing gets used. Why? Because this 440A is done really freaking well. Now, I could go out and get the United Cutlery one, but the blade steel isn't very good. The materials aren't very good as far as that's concerned. I could go out and get the Pohl CNC2 machined ones, but basically it's this knife with a 9CR version steel, which I kind of like the 440A. Well, I do like the 440A better than the 9CR stuff, which I have proven over and over again still works. People like the knife snobs are going to say the 9CR, it's crap, it's junk, it's blah, 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 blah. They'll say the same thing about 440A, most likely. But it's because they're wrong and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So steel for steel, they're pretty close. I just happen to prefer the 440A. And then the only difference is how the tang is. The Pohl is a true full tang, where this one is a shrouded stick tang. It's a full hidden. The tang literally goes all the way to here, right? With this little shroud around it, but it's done really freaking well. I love it. And then where the Pohl really excels is they use the properly colored, the tan micarta, where these are green, and it's like a plastic. But when you're talking about even the original Pohl Force design, the Nihilix steel, which is incredible, the original one is the same exact specs. If I took the scales off of an original Pohl movie knife, they're going to fit on here. I can line up these holes absolutely perfect. It's going to line up with this absolutely perfect, no problem. So if you put this into the hand of a blind man, aside from the plastic feel compared to the micarta that the Pohl originally used, nobody with their eyes closed would be able to tell, aside from the scales, what the difference is in those knives. So knife for knife, this is the Pohl knife as far as ergonomics and size parameters. So everything. So it's going to fit in the hand the same exact way as the Pohl knife. So when I do this comparison, I will be able to tell which I like better between the Hollywood Collectibles Group version or the Pohl knife, the style, or the Jed Hornbeak. That's right, the Jed Hornbeak Heartstopper. Now, he made me this steel when he did my Nepalese Gladiator over there. He threw this in as a bonus. He added the scales. They weren't attached, but he added the scales and they weren't finished. He put this area in right here, and then they were kind of just basically to shape and just flat squared out pieces. And he said, I know you can do your scales, so I'm going to let you do your scales your way. So I did my Bigfoot tooth, almost dropped it, my Bigfoot tooth design, which for me is one of the most comfortable handle designs. So this is going to be a, what do I like better, the Jed Hornbeak Heartstopper, or I'm going to call it the Pohl design because it's the Pohl design, even though it's not the Pohl knife, it's the Pohl design as far as all sizes equal. So you can see blade shape for blade shape, it's very close. Jed Hornbeak added a beautiful sweep here, giving it more of a kind of a cut, more of an indenture. It's just a little bit different, and his blade is just slightly thicker in the belly. This one, Pohl's design is very narrow. That's the one thing I didn't like about it. It's a very narrow blade. But you can see where the choils are, how much deeper this blade goes by the choil. So you can actually see blade width by the choil. This one extends farther out, giving it a deeper blade. I really, really like that. The comfort in the grips. They both have really comfortable grips. This one, obviously, I made for my own comfort. This one is made the way it is. Now, the difference in the handle, you can see that Jed, instead of making a jagged handle here, he made a really sweet sweeping spine that gives you kind of like a semi-pistol grip, but due to the due to the sub hilt, it takes away from that weird pistol feel, where this one, the sub hilt keeps it still in that flat line. You don't feel the angle as much on this one than you do in this one, and I do like that flatter feel than the rounder feel. But this one, for some reason, it just feels like there's more grip. You know what I mean? In the hand, there's just more to it. I am no sub-hilt fan at all. I hate sub-hilts. Hate sub-hilts. But if I have to say, like, how are they done? They're at least done really well. Both of these knives have sub-hilts that aren't too uncomfortable. They don't force your hand into positions they don't want to be in. So they're not so bad. The reason he has a sub-hilt down here is because he wanted to make a Heartstopper, which has a sub-hilt. So Jed did that. I think because Jed is a freaking master, I bet if he was just making a knife to make a knife, he wouldn't have added it, because he really knows what he's doing. Now we'll talk about the guard. These guards are big, fat guards. They are completely unnecessary. No guard needs to be that wide on a fighting knife. It just doesn't. A fighting knife is because you're going in, you're gutting somebody, and you're not expecting somebody to wield a sword, and you're not doing cling, 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 cling. That's not happening. You'll see the martial arts movies, the old ninja movies, where samurai or a ninja will sit there for 20 minutes and clash swords. That's not how they really fought. The key was to get it over as quick as possible, because you don't want to damage your sword. Sitting there banging swords together screws them up. So don't believe the Hollywood hype. You're not going to be banging around. That guard isn't going to be what's saving your life. Get over that. Everybody thinks, oh, the guard, well, a knife fight, you need to... Shut your mouth. First of all, you've never even been in a knife fight. Second of all, you don't know what you're talking about. But when it comes down to guard, look at the difference. Integral. This thing is integrated into the true full tang of this blade, and it is so much better than these big add-on guards. I love Jed's guard. Let's get to the skull crushers. They both do the same job. They are both swedged, not sharpened. Pohl's design is swedged, not sharpened. They both have lanyard holes. They're both excellently done. Even though this one's a shroud, I proved that this thing is a freaking banger. It goes. This one, I mean, True Solid Steel's is A2 steel. So even if you were comparing, like, especially the CNC 2 blade, this one absolutely devours it. Jed's steel devours it. He does a lot of his blades in A2. He uses a lot of 5160, which is my favorite. So he really knows what he's doing when it comes to picking the right steels for the right job. Very, very impressive. The Nylox in the in the Pohl Force design is great. Is it one of my favorites? No, I love it. It's not one of my favorites. I would rather Jed Hornbeak's knife. So when it comes down to which one would I rather have a Pohl Force, an actual Pohl Force, or would I rather have the Jed Hornbeak? I mean, true Rambo nostalgia, so how could I actually pick away from it? Easy. Jed Hornbeak would make one, and I would say, yep, that's the one. It just, the fatter, beefier blade, it means something. I'm not a fan of narrow blades. And as, oh, I just stabbed the couch. And to show you real quick what I mean and why, and I say this, you'd look at a blade like this and you'd think, well, that's kind of narrow. It's in a straight line. It was made to compare to that, right? So, I mean, when you're talking about it's this one can hide behind it without a trace. This one can't hide behind that one without a trace. It is a big, fat, nasty blade compared to this long, skinny stick blade. So that's what I mean. I love a full blade. I'm just not like, I have some daggers, but I would rather a big, fat knife over a dagger any day of the week for any purpose. It's just how I am. It's just how I am. It's how I'm built, guys. Like, what do we have right here? What do we have right here? Look at that. We happen to have one. So this is the Schrade needle, I think it is. Does it say it on there? I think it's the Schrade needle. Sweet knife, great knife, does everything. But I don't like a blade that's pretty much the same width as the grip. It's just not my style. So that's it. As far as which I would choose, knife to compare, I would take the Jed Hornbeak knife all day long. Now here's the deal with Jed Hornbeak knives. He makes knives per order, and he's starting his production knives. He's going to actually do some where you can just go buy. He is absolutely worth the wait. If you can get on his waiting list, and he has one because he is booked making knives. Why? Because he makes great freaking knives. I would get over to his YouTube channel and message him. If you want a Jed Hornbeak knife, get to him now so eventually you can have one. His stuff is phenomenal. Don't believe me? Ask Cowboy Sebop. Don't believe him? Ask Scab over at Choir Boys Country. Cutlery Country. It is his country. Just ask anybody who owns a Jed Hornbeak knife, and they will tell you up, down, and all around what a phenomenal product this guy puts out. Just awesome. So this was my my versus, my compare. I wanted to go out and do some stuff, but this is what I'm thinking. I still have the D-Bad version that's going to be produced, and I think now that my Crocodile Dundee knife is done, I think my next one might be the Heartstopper, the D-Bad mission, whatever it is, because I have so many I forget the numbers. That's what I think I'm going to do next, and then we will be able to do a 3-knife battle royale. So this is kind of like a teaser almost, but if it came down to which one would I like better, definitely Jed Hornbeak over Pohl Force. Even though this isn't a true Pohl Force, and Pohl's knife is fantastic. This is comfortable. It feels good. It's right. Works well. It does everything it's supposed to. And this one's not even the Pohl one. This thing is awesome. The Hollywood Collectibles Group knife is an absolute freaking workhorse. This one just plows a little harder. You're welcome, ladies. So that's it for that. We're going to end it there. Really wanted to bring this thing out, and I think I'm going to do a Do I Still Love It, where I take it out and just smash on it, because it's that kind of knife. It's worthy and it's capable. That's it for that one. Until the next one, I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.